right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the GSL Team League. That intro always pumps me up so much. Like, even just those 3 seconds of, like, fat beats while it's saying, like, GSL Jupiter pumps me up so much. And we are going to have those two teams you just saw the logos of right now, F United versus Prime. This is going to be actually an awesome match. F United coming into the Team League. No one expected them to do well. They've gotten a kill. Last week they almost got a win. They went to the 7th game, and there they are right now, the F United team.
Yeah, but where's Naniwa?
Where's Naniwa?
Like,
he's actually in the picture. He's wearing a red and white striped shirt, and you have to find him.
Find me somewhere in there, I don't know.
You get bonus points if you find the lighting, and you find a can of Mountain Dew and a bottle of Pepsi somewhere in the picture.
You can kind of do like a where in the world is Naniwa thing, like the Carmen Sandiego thing. I don't know. That's more like Huck these days, though.
Oh, that girl got the F United.
I'm so embarrassed to get the F United
banner. Yeah, man.
Team's looking kind of small today.
Looking a little bit thin today. They've got 4 players, which is exactly the amount they need to technically field a team.
That's true. Well, Thorzane, I mean, he's in the booth. He's going up first for him.
That's true. You're right. They have 1 extra.
Spoiler alert. There.
But and there they are right there. So Naniwa, you mentioned it to explain to viewers at home. He is actually at MLG this weekend, so he had to fly out yesterday, I believe.
Oh, that's where he is. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, man, he actually always places really high amongst the non-Koreans at MLG.
He does tend to do pretty well, so they're going to have to rely on their other key player, which looks like it's soccer, I guess?
Well, he's a key player in that he plays every week.
He's a key player in that without him they wouldn't. No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly.
He's a Protoss player. He hasn't had a lot of luck so far. I mean, maybe we haven't really gotten a fair look at him yet, but I don't know. They did beat MVP, so
yeah, man.
The graph does swing that direction in a big way. But other than that, and you notice Phoenix there, he's not going to be wearing that jersey anymore. He actually did leave Fnatic. Have to see where he ends up after that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to ask him about that later on.
I don't know. I talked to him. He said he had a team in mind, but I didn't press him for any more details. We'll have to just wait and see.
Interesting.
Yep.
So yeah, man, Naniwa is not going to be here. He's actually one of their stronger players. There they are right there. Yeah, soccer, they put him out almost every match, and he loses a game.
Yeah, he hasn't done too well.
I don't think he's won.
Well,
Moon and Lin, of course, are their other players. Moon being a Zerg and Lin being a Terran, but the rumor has it... Well, hold on, I'll talk about them later. First, let's see the Prime team.
Yep, here they come. Marine King and Optimus leading the charge. 2 top Terrans on the team. And, you know, this is a team that, I say it every time I cast a team, like, I'm always surprised that these guys haven't done better. They've only won 1 match ever.
Yeah.
They win today, it'll of course be their 2nd. They've got a lot of individual talent on the team, or at least, you know, I'd say rising talent. I think they've got what it takes to beat F United. But at the same time, you know, we've been surprised before, so it really could go either way today.
Yeah, man. I mean, F United, they actually did. They've been doing, like, really well compared to what everyone kind of expected from them. You know, they went up and... oops, I got the wrong thing up here.
Oh, that guy's here, like, every day.
Oh, nice.
You got the Prime banner.
But yeah, I mean, they beat MVP. They went to Game 7 against TSL. Like, TSL, the winners, they were almost the first team to take out TSL in their entire team league.
That's true.
You know, you can't really underestimate F United.
That's true. Well, here's what Prime's got as far as key players, a little bit of information on them. Of course, Hongen is the closer. A lot of people know him as kind of an all-in-ish player, but, you know, someone who can make those sort of snap judgments during a game and get those quick wins. Not a bad choice for a closer. The key players, of course, being Marine King, Optimus, and Boom Boom.
Hongen was coincidentally, well, spoiler alert from the Code S round of 16. Yeah. Don't listen for about 20 seconds if you don't want to know the results, but Hongen actually was double all-in by Jelizerg.
Yeah.
And was eliminated very quickly.
That was actually a hilarious series.
It was hilarious.
I was laughing pretty bad when I was watching.
I actually was literally laughing out loud in the studio here watching those games.
Well,
anyway, so he's their closer, but he is also somewhat vulnerable.
Yeah,
not their best player, I wouldn't say.
Definitely not a stable player, I guess, in the long term, but they've got a big roster. They've got a decent amount of depth. Of course, you've got players like Marine King, you would expect to do much better than he has in the Team League. for some reason just hasn't gotten a lot of wins yet. And they're actually leading off with Boong Boong today. So it's going to be Boong Boong versus Thorzane.
Yeah, that's... Go ahead, sorry.
Oh, no, I was just going to talk about Creator, actually, over there on the right. Protoss player that I feel like he's got a lot of potential.
He's got a lot of potential. He doesn't have a lot of results. He's got a lot of potential.
Also, just for a lot of this team, aside from like Optimus and Marine King, and I suppose you could lump Hongen in with that as well. Aside from them, the team has a lot of potential, but not a lot of results. Even players like Czech that have been around forever haven't really done that well in the GSL.
Yeah.
Yep. And of course, we made Fox disbanding at the end of the month too. So.
Yeah.
What will that mean for the future of F United?
There's only the 3 Warcraft 3 players there, really. And,
pretty much.
After the team league is over, they won't really have the mercenaries aren't really part of the team.
Well, here's our Jupiter Division ranking so far. You can see TSL way up on top, +9. MVP, the closest of anybody out there, +4, the only other team in the positive right now. And OGSTL in third with -3. So a very interesting breakdown there.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got F United there as well. Now, the thing to keep in mind is that the win-loss is the most important thing. The games, the sets to the right of that is the secondary stuff if there's a tie in the win-loss category.
Yeah, exactly. So that's actually interesting because if you look at that, F United, if they win today, they will actually be in the playoff runnings.
Yeah, that's right.
Technically, because they'll be 2-2, I believe.
It's possible. I mean, this is the league that I feel could really move around quite a bit yet.
Yeah.
Depending on the results of the next today and next week. I believe next week is our last week of the preseason. I guess the pre-playoff season. So, and a lot could happen depending on these games today. We've got this match first, F United versus Prime, and then after that we've got OGSTL versus Slayers. So that should be also a pretty cool match as well.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome actually.
Yeah. So how about that first game we have today? We've got the Spoon Terran.
The Spoon Terran.
That's right.
Because he kills his opponents long and slow with a
slow death,
an inefficient weapon,
especially in TVZ.
Especially in TVZ. Yeah, I remember that game. I don't remember who did he play that long TVZ on Terminus.
Sniper?
Could
have been. I don't know. It was someone on MVP, I believe. But yeah, they're starting to call him the Spoon Terran. That nickname actually originated in the Korean forums, I guess, because watching him play, especially TVZ, is like watching someone murder someone else with a spoon. It just takes a long time. So, he is doing a TVZ, first of all, so I'll have to see if he kind of plays in the same style. Now, calling him that, it isn't like a criticism or anything, because there's nothing wrong with playing safe. I mean, I feel like a lot of Terrans could take a lesson from that these days, actually.
Yeah, especially in... like Terran versus Terran, for instance, being methodical, being very, very slow about the movement of your tanks, very progressive, is actually the very safe way to play, and often wins players games. How do Terrans that are playing with tanks lose? They get caught unsieged. And if you slowly, methodically leapfrog your tanks forward, you don't get caught unsieged.
Well, it's like he takes the whole phrase, when you're ahead, get more ahead, and he takes it to the extreme. He's like, I'm going to actually get as far ahead as you can possibly get in this situation. And that can be a little bit dangerous sometimes, but overall it's a very safe way to play, and it's won him a lot of games. I think Thorzane going up against Boong Boong Prime is a pretty good matchup. Boong Boong is a strong Zerg, but he's not quite on the level that some of the other Zergs would be. Prime isn't exactly known for their strong Zerg players, but I don't know. I'd say it's a good. I think it's going to be a good matchup. I think Thorzane can take him. I'd be a little bit surprised if Boong Boong won, but it could go either way.
Yeah, Prime is a very Terran-heavy team. Here's the thing, though. Boong Boong. Now they picked the matches. It's not like they put out Thorzane. They're like, who are we going to put out against Thorzane?
Yeah,
let's put Boong Boong. They had to pick it blindly, and Boong Boong is actually pretty bad against Terran in his games against Korean Terrans. He got a couple good wins. Actually, he beat Noblesse in the team league in previous matches, so he's got a couple wins in there. But he also has a bunch of losses to really mediocre Terran players. So he is inconsistent at best.
Well, he's got something to prove.
Definitely has a lot to prove, but I think that Thorzane is actually... I would actually favor him in this game right now. I think he's actually a better player than Boong Boong right now, especially in this matchup. There's Thorzane, Team Mouse Esports from Sweden. He's 4-4.
He's actually got a positive win-loss record in the GSTL, in the team league.
Oh wow, yeah.
Pretty impressive. I don't think any other foreigner has that. I don't think even Huck has that, actually.
Yeah, and I mean, this guy has a bunch of achievements. Well, several achievements outside of Korea as well.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, winning the Poker Strategy Team Liquid Star League, which the recent one, TSL 3, because I mean that had Koreans in it. He beat Koreans on his way to winning that that tournament, man, as well as beating Naniwa in the finals, and has taken golds and bronzes in a few other tournaments in Europe and such.
It was pretty accomplished. I mean, he got far enough in MLG to get a spot in Code A and get out to Korea.
Yeah, of course, that's how he got here.
Yep, well, here's Bung Bung Prime. He also has a positive record, just slightly, right now. Tied up in the Team League, though. 3 wins, 3 losses. So we do see him play, a decent amount for Prime, and it's gone well. It's gone not so well sometimes.
Yes, indeed.
Looks a little bit tired today.
I can feel that, man. I couldn't get to sleep last night. I was tired. I'm like, I'm gonna go to bed early.
I know.
And then I tried to go to bed early, and it didn't work.
What you gotta do, you just gotta have Angry Birds on your phone, then you just play that in bed.
Yeah.
Try to 3-star everything after maybe about 10 levels, start to doze off.
I had to get up and watch some TV episodes.
Oh yeah, that's okay
Try
too.
and tire myself out a little bit.
That works too.
Did some emails.
Or
Good
read
stuff.
sometimes. It's fun.
Antigua Shipyard is going to be the first map.
Yeah, good map for Thorzane actually. It's a newer map, so we haven't really seen. I don't think we've seen enough of it yet to really make solid judgments like that. Like this map is good for X-Race. Right now, my first impression on it though is that it is good for Terran.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to see how that affects the matchup today. We're gonna move right into it. Thorzane versus Bung Bung here at the GSL Team League. I'm Doe, with me is Moltrap. Let's get in the game. All right, so over on the right side of the map in the yellow, we have our Terran player from the team F United. Also from the team House Sports, it is.
F United, Thorzane.
Oh, that was loud. Street Fighter voice is really excited about Thorzane. I can't blame him.
Yeah, man. Thorzane
Right.
McLovin
Hey,
Terran.
McLovin Terran?
He kind of does look like that.
I can see where I can
Oh,
see where that's
man.
coming from.
They're wanting a 4-0 here.
All right, here on the left side of the map is our Zerg player from the team Prime. His name Beans Fart. He is.
Boom boom prime win.
Okay, that's good.
Both of us
Street
dodged.
Fighter voice not quite as excited about Boom Boom Prime.
All right.
She's excited though.
Yeah, no, this is a map. Terran's been doing pretty well on it. We haven't really seen a ton of stuff on this map, so we don't know exactly how it's going to be favoring just yet. But one thing I did notice about it is that it actually has a lot of Zergs have been complaining lately about maps where it's hard to take a third base. Like if the third has rocks on it, like Tal'Darim Altar or something like that, it's difficult for them to get that quick third if the Terran is going to play, or if any other race is going to play conservatively and economically. And hold that thought, because that is 2 racks. That is not economic at all.
Yep, he's going to be putting some pressure on Bung Bung right away. And if the patch notes are any indication, he's going to have to enjoy that while it lasts. I don't know, man. They could change, but for those of you who don't know, the possible 1.4 patch notes came out today, and there were some interesting changes. You want to go check those out, definitely. Going up on the test realm very soon. I'm going to have to jump on there and see how that's going to change some of the Terran timings. There's talk of making Barracks build time 5 seconds longer, which would obviously have a big effect on the strategy that Thorzane's trying to do right now, and a big effect on Terran early game in general. So,
Yeah, well,
let's see how that goes.
Slow everything down by 5 seconds, which sometimes is enough time to get out a few more Zerglings. It could definitely
deal.
make a difference.
It is a big deal, yeah.
Anyway, just to quickly finish that thought earlier, this map does not have rocks on the third, so it's a place where a Zerg can theoretically, if they have an advantage, take a quick and easy third base, and it's relatively close to their natural, so it's not too risky either. So just something that might play out in the long game for Zerg players on this map in the future. And Thorzane scouting this. His first Marine is already on the scene, but there are 8 Zerglings on the way.
Yeah, I think Bung Bung's going to be able to actually handle this fairly well. He kind of knows what's up. He's making enough Zerglings. 8 is kind of the maximum you'd want to make at this point in the game. He might, excuse me, wow, might make a few more. You can see he's producing some drones right now. But yeah, with these links showing up.
Oh, and he has to cancel off that. He might lose all of these units. And
Yeah, it's
I'm not surprised
possible.
he's not microing against them. At the very least, he's waiting for 2 more Marines to come in. They're a good idea, actually.
That's the thing, yeah. Once they catch up to the reinforcements, you can kill quite a few Zerglings, but it looks like it's going to be just enough for Boong Boong. Yeah, he's going to try to take out the Submarines.
Wow.
Gets one more and then makes a run for it, yeah.
Thorzane actually target firing the injured Zerglings, by the way.
Yep. Now, we saw Thorzane still kind of advancing on Boong Boong Prime. The reason is because he can make Boong Boong make more Zerglings, make less drones, so no reason not to kind of keep on a little bit pressure yet at this time. Obviously not going to be able to do a whole lot of damage, but can still force a few less drones anyway.
Yeah, and he sees that many Zerglings, and he's just going to leave. He doesn't want to lose those Marines.
Yeah.
He's going to wait for more to come. He's continuing to rally Marines forward, though, at this point.
Yeah,
So he
why
really
not?
wants to keep up this pressure. And he's got to be a little bit worried about a counterattack because speed is about to complete. There's several Zerglings there, and his wall at the front is not complete. And there goes those
Well.
Marines getting surrounded.
Yeah, he's going to lose a good amount of Zerglings with these Marines, and these two are going to get taken out pretty quickly as well. And how's Thorzane going to react to this? He's going to try to wall off as fast as he can. And he does get the wall in down in time, so he's going to be just fine. Yep.
The Marines are going to have to hold things off.
Oh.
Oh, he's trying to get the SCVs building the bunker. He does.
Actually might get the one on the
He's gonna
barracks,
get both
too.
SCVs.
Wow.
Nice.
All right. Doesn't really change a whole lot, but nice little score there for Boong Boong.
Yep.
And so Thorzane, I mean, we've seen from his previous games, generally likes to play pretty standard in TVZ. Likes to go the Marine tank route. And on this map, that's great. I mean, the real problem, I think, that Zergs will have on this map, and that they have kind of had, is that 3 bases is kind of the maximum they can get, just because once you have that middle ground, it's so easy to control, you know, the paths to the other bases. So that's kind of really where the big problem has been coming up for Zerg players on this map, and, you know, for a certain extent, Protoss as well, is those 3 bases are, you know, relatively easy to take, but then it's hard to hold your third, and it's really hard to go beyond that third on this map right now.
That's true. That's true.
Yep.
So knowing that he has a bit of an advantage here, we did see that Boong Boong just droned up a lot. He built a lot of drones. That's all he's been doing is drone. He's got a third queen out who's dedicated to spreading creep right now as well, so he's going to get his creep moving out on the map as well. And but the thing is Thorzane, he can just sit behind that wall. His economy is about even with the mules added to somewhat inferior worker count. Going for the blue flame upgrade as well.
Yeah. Another thing that he may potentially have to enjoy while it lasts as well. Talking about nerfing the damage to Pre-Igniter 2 from 10 down to 5.
Well, I think it'll still have the same effect on Zerglings. It just won't kill workers as quickly, if I'm not mistaken about the way the damage will work.
Well, something like now, I was doing a little bit of math with it. I didn't have a whole lot of time to look at it, but it's like if the change goes through, if you do Pre-Igniter and +1 vehicle weapons, it'll still 2-shot workers, I believe.
Yeah.
So it'll definitely be slower, but I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. Those changes might not even actually hit the real game, so a little bit early to maybe talk about that stuff. But it's so interesting, Moltres.
It will 2-shot drones and probes, but SCVs have 45 hit points, so it wouldn't 2-shot them. So that would be that'd be kind of significant. Anyway, some Hellions are moving out on the map right now. They are almost upgraded with the blue flame, with the Pre-Igniter, Infernal Pre-Igniter.
That Infernal Pre-Igniter.
Things burn better if they're ignited beforehand.
Right, that's right. Well, it just infernally pre-ignites the igniter. You know, I don't know what that means, but
I don't know either.
Has a pretty good effect. Looks like Thorzane's going for a Marine drop as well. Oh, he could use a couple Marines there. Actually, that should be enough. And pre-igniter finishes.
Oh!
A lot of Zerglings getting torched there.
Yeah, those Zerglings are going to go down in 2 hits, and with 5 Hellions there, means they're just going to roast entire lines of Zerglings, so...
The way Thorzane stopped right outside the automaton, I thought he was going to drop and kill it. It's like, I found it, yes.
As there's that drop going into the 3rd base of Boong Boong. He's got a Spine Crawler there. He's got a bunch of Zerglings, but that's all else on the map right now is Zerglings. The Spire's about to complete. But,
This could be a little bit dangerous for Boong Boong, actually. I don't think he's actually made any Banelings quite yet either. So he's going to have just Zerglings against just Hellions on the low ground, really keeping those Marines safe. Boong Boong's going to try to come in from both sides, but just not enough Hellions from behind. Looks like he is going to be able to clean up the Marines, though. Yeah, that worked out okay for him. Worked out pretty well. Oh, and a Raven on the way for Thorzane. That is pretty cool.
Yeah, the Marines got cleaned up, but they killed a lot of the Hellions and the Marines killed a lot of Zerglings. So
Yeah.
a little bit better trade, I think, for Thorazane in that little attack, since he only lost 8 Marines.
You know, I gotta say, I really like Boong Boong's creep spread too. It was going really well until the Hellions started killing everything, as far as creep tumors go. But just look at the minimap; it's looking pretty good right now.
Yep. Well, he killed kind of a portion in the middle, but he still has a couple active creep tumors out there, so he can still keep spreading that. And Mutalisks are out now. They're trying to go in here with just the 4 of them to try and do some harassment before turrets get up.
Yeah, more
and
mutas
there's the
joining
rest,
now.
though.
And that is actually a good amount of mutas. That's too many Marines, though, so he is going to have to be pretty careful about that, picking up a few more SCVs before pulling out.
That is a dozen Mutalisks, man.
Actually,
it's an entire control group of Mutalisks.
That's not enough Marines, Moltrap. Now that might be enough Marines. Could
They're
probably
pretty
kill
low
it.
on health, though. He's actually going to go straight for the Marines. The turret is only 2/3 complete. Those SCVs are all very badly damaged. If you realize that, he could take out a boatload of them.
Wow.
And he is starting to target those SCVs, but a Thor comes out at just the perfect moment.
Yeah, you know, he probably could have even still magic boxed the mutas against the Thor, but the Thor plus the missile turret is a little bit too much.
Yeah, then he would have lost too much there.
Well, yeah, it's no sense wasting those very expensive Mutalisks this, at this stage in the game. We're just going to probably need those to fend off a push in the near future.
If he does go back in for another attack there, though, and the Thor's not there, he could, again, take out a lot of those SCVs which were injured. Although, actually, never mind. That's kind of cool. He's got one SCV in his mineral line on auto repair.
That's smart.
To heal up his SCVs. That is actually brilliant.
Yeah, it's a smart thing to do. And Boong Boong Prime does take his 4th now, and he's done enough that he can kind of keep that 4th a little bit safer than you would normally see on that. Thorzane's been trying a few things other than just playing standard Marine tank. Oh, there's a drop there. And look at that, burrowing the drones, trying to keep him alive. Looks like Thorzane's just going to lose all these Hellions, though. Nice defense by Boong Boong there.
Yeah, I don't think he scanned to kill those. It didn't look like. I'm not sure.
Well, you know, if you're firing at something else, everything in line dies anyway.
Yeah, so. Yeah. I couldn't tell if that's what was happening there. And but yeah, Thorazane, he does have that Raven, and that is actually going to be really good. He's going to have enough for a point defense drone, which is really, really good against Mutalisks. Point defense drones actually block Mutalisk fire.
Yeah, it can be pretty helpful there.
So that will make the tanks and Marines immune to Mutafire while they mow down Zerglings.
It'll be interesting to see how long the PDD lasts if he does decide to use it against the mutas. I haven't seen it used against Mutalisks too often, so I'm kind of curious to see it in action. Looks like that is a lot of Banelings. 41 Banelings on the way right now.
That is the answer right there.
That is so many Banelings.
That is so many Banelings.
That's the definition of so many Banelings.
If he actually just hold that thought, the Mutalisk coming in trying to do some harassment.
Yep.
They need to be really careful, though. That's what he needs to do, is try and pick off reinforcements.
Yeah, he's going to need to make sure those Banelings are pretty split, too, when he does finally move in. But look at this. Boong Boong doing a bit of a counterattack at the main of Thorazane. And he can definitely cause some damage. That one missile turret is not going to be enough. Can the SCVs repair it? No, not fast enough. And it looks like Thorazane is just going to go for it.
And here's the thing, though. Boong Boong actually has enough Banelings to just bowl over that entire army.
He certainly might, Moltrap. That's
if he gets some good siege hits on clumped Banelings, then that army will melt, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And well, we'll see in a minute. But this counterattack is actually doing tons of damage.
Here he goes. That is a lot of Banelings indeed. Nice job splitting those a little bit there. Pulling back at the last moment. Still some Marines and takes left over, but look at that. GG, well played.
Thorazane just didn't have enough in his main anymore.
That's right. Boong Boong Prime just stared at the spoon, and it bent. That's right. He used the power of the mind to take down the Spoon Terran. Boong Boong Prime's like, there is no spoon.
You ever seen the... there's Boong Boong coming out to congratulate his team. Oh, he's got a spoon! Oh, what's he going to do? He's going to give high fives with a spoon.
See, people thought we were joking. They thought we made up the Spoon Terran.
He has a piece of pizza as well. That's interesting.
I don't know why he has little X's of tape over his nipples. I'm not going to really read into that too much.
Yeah, let's not think about that too much.
Thorzane's got to be a bit disappointed. I mean, he did he tried to get a little bit tricky there. Instead of just playing standard Marine tank, he had it on the Raven. He tried to do that Marine Hellion drop. Didn't quite work out. It made him have kind of less when he finally moved out.
Well, also, he tried to go for kind of a 2 racks pressure, and it just didn't do anything, basically. He lost a lot of Marines. I think he kept up the 2 racks pressure a little bit too long. Instead of going home, he lost a lot of Marines, and that made him stuck in his base for a while, and Bung Bung was able to just take a third and just drone up like crazy going into the mid game. So Thorzain kind of gave up. He didn't do enough early on, and ended up letting Bung Bung do whatever he wanted in the mid game. So
well, the thing is you've got your basic overall strategy, which for Thorzain would be like Marine Tank, and anything he does outside of that, anything he does to deviate from that, reduces the effectiveness of that overall strategy. So when he finally did move out with that push, because of the earlier things he did before, didn't quite have quite as strong an army of someone who just plain old went Marine Tank, played defensive, and then pushed out. So it happens. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Who is F United going to send out next?
We're going to find out right now, man.
I'm going to guess Lin. I'm picking Lin.
That's a good guess. I would go with him as well.
Oh, is it actually going to be Lin?
No,
oh,
Phoenix. That's a good option too. I think sending out another Terran is actually a good idea. Again, Bung Bung, despite defeating Thorzain, is traditionally pretty bad against Terrans. So I like that choice, sending out Phoenix. Phoenix, of course, getting a win or two last week as well.
I talked to Phoenix a little bit earlier today. I was like, how's the training going? Everything going well? And he's enjoying himself. He feels like he's definitely improving training here with the team in Korea. So I don't know. I feel like each week we have a chance to see, what has Phoenix learned. Pretty cool. He is 2-2 right now in GSL Team League games.
Yep.
Did get a win against TSL last week, I believe it was.
Yeah, he beat
2 wins,
Hart and Clyde, and finally fell to Revival in the last match, actually. So, yep, he did lose to a Zerg there, but in his international games, though, he's pretty good against Zergs. He's got a winning rate against Zergs, but again, that's generally, and I'm not trying to be insulting, but it's just a fact that generally foreign Zerg players that you play at European or American tournaments are going to be at a little bit lower caliber than GSL Zergs. So
it kind of depends here and there.
We're going to see, though.
Yeah. I mean, there are some very, very strong foreign Zergs, too. I mean, you've got Idra, of course, and Maro, and suppose could put a few more in there. But against Bung Bung, I mean, Bung Bung really, he just played very standard, played very normal last game, just had enough stuff, was able to take a fourth, which not a lot of Zergs have been able to do yet on Antigua Shipyard.
Yeah. All right, let's get an interview here with some of our players and coaches.
일단 저희가 지금 3경기를 치렀는데 일단 첫 경기를 좀 승리해야지 이렇게 다음 선수 내보내기도 편하고, 지금 이제 첫 경기 나오는 저희 선수가 그래도 좀 이렇게 승도 많이 싸주고 믿음직스러워서 저희가 첫 경기를 잡기 위해서 이제 소르젠 선수를 선봉으로 내보냈습니다. 일단 프라임 팀 같은 경우는 뭐 이렇게 종족별로 다 이제 막강한 선수가 되게 이제 출중한 걸로 알고 있고, 현재 뭐 6위에 있지만 언제든지 뭐 곧바로 순위권에 들 팀이라고 생각합니다. 그래서 저희는 뭐 현재 6위지만 방심 안 하고 오늘 진짜 최선을 다하겠습니다. 오늘 경기가 뭐 프라임 팀이나 저희 팀이나 상당히 중요한 경기인 걸로 알고 있는데, 서로 뭐 오늘 최선을 다해서 멋진 경기 부탁드리겠습니다. 예.
저희 최종 선수가 저번에 그 동료 선수한테 좀 유리한 경기 지고 나서 많이 아쉬워하고 자기 때문에 졌다고 좀 많이 좀 죄책감을 많이 느끼면서 좀 숙소로 들어가서 말도 없이, 그래서 최종 선수가 분명히 잘하는 선수고 F 유나이티드 상대로 올킬도 가능한 선수이기 때문에 이번에 다시 한번 최종 선수를 믿고 최종 선수를 선봉으로 내세웠습니다. 아무래도 외국 선수들이다 보니까 이렇게 다양하고 새로운 전략들이 많이 이렇게 선보이시는 것 같아요. 그리고 저희 팀 선수들도 좀 그런 전략을 구사하는 선수들이 많이 있어서 이번에는 좀 저그나 프로토스 카드 위주로 해서 좀 재밌는 경기가 나올 수 있도록 엔트리를 구성을 했습니다. 오늘 F 유나이티드 팀이랑 처음으로 경기를 펼치는데 양 팀 모두 정말 최선을 다해서 멋진 경기 보여줬으면 좋겠습니다. 후회 없는 경기 했으면 좋겠습니다.
Well, there you have it.
Indeed.
Yeah, a lot of faith put in Bung Bung Prime there. They say can all kill any team. All right, we'll have to see if that's true or not. Well, maybe he can. Maybe he can.
No.
Who knows? I don't know.
Well,
Coach
I
knows
guess
better than us. So.
You never know. You never know. I mean, there was a time when I was like, who's Dong Regu? What?
Yeah, well, that's true. A lot
You
of
know,
players.
and he came out of the
do
team
come
league
up.
and he did very well.
Yep.
Of course, we hadn't seen anything from Nongrigu at the time. A little bit more of a surprise, but
Yeah.
yeah, you never know what's lurking in the hearts of some of these StarCraft players.
Let's make it sound like they're possessed or something. You know? Like, get in
Well,
the booth
maybe.
and they sprout,
Hey,
like,
if he
6
got
tentacles
possessed
or
by
something.
a good player, he could maybe all kill a team.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to insult him that much, but he just hasn't put up the results at all. He has a losing record overall. So, anyway, but
How dare you,
know,
say that about that? Look at him.
coaches have to have confidence in their team members.
How can you look at that face and say things like that, Moltron?
I'm sorry. I take it all back.
Well, I thought it was kind of interesting that the Prime coach was saying that he was going to try mostly Zerg and Protoss players today.
It sounded almost like he was saying, "Oh, F United's easy, so we're gonna not use our pro Terrans a little bit there."
I think he just wants to. You could be right.
Maybe
but
it's because. Well, maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way. Maybe it's because their Terrans are kind of their stars. Marine King, Optimus. And so they want to try and give some of their other players a little bit of the
certainly possible too.
spotlight as well. Terminus Re is going to be the next map. And the coaches were both talking about how important of a game this is, how important of a match this is.
Uh-huh.
I mean, Prime, they're technically in last place right now. And
Yeah.
I think that even if they win this, there's still basically no chance of them getting into the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't really think they have much of a
But
chance. Yeah.
but it's still important just for pride, and it's also important, like we were talking about earlier, if F United wins this, they actually will have a chance at the playoffs. So definitely an important match for F United. And
Second map, as you can see there, is Terminus. That's
Yep.
kind of cool. Phoenix wanting to do a TVZ on probably the biggest map we have in the GSL right now. So he's
maybe
probably
he'll
got
do it spoon
something
style.
planned. What?
Maybe he'll do spoon style.
Spoon style?
So slowly creep across the map.
Could be.
Have you seen the
style's
show?
pretty good, man.
Have you seen that show BS? Penn and Teller.
Oh, yeah.
It's not actually called BS, but that's an abbreviation.
But
for
we
the real
can't say
name.
what it's actually called in the.
No, they did an
broadcast.
episode about. They were talking about crackpot, metaphysical theories and stuff, and I'll talk more about that when we get into this game here. Terminus Re, Phoenix is going to try and bring it back for F United and take a win against Boom Boom. Let's find out what happens.